Assalamu alaikum. In today's lesson, we're going to talk about quantifiers. So let's watch. If you want to talk about large quantities, we use a lot of or lots of in affirmative sentences. Like, for example, my uncle has a lot of money. Sarah has lots of clothes. They have the same meaning. So you can say my uncle has a lot of money or my uncle has lots of money. Sarah has lots of clothes or Sarah has a lot of clothes. If you don't have a noun, use a lot, not a lot of or lots of. James eats a lot. A noun is like money and clothes. Here, there is no noun. There is the subject and the verb, and we don't have a noun. If we say James eats a lot of food, then food is a noun, and we have to say a lot of. But if you stop like that without the noun, then you just say a lot without of. Don't say James eats a lot of and stop, or James eats lots of and stop. No, a lot is used with both countable and uncountable nouns. I have a lot of friends and a lot of free time. Friends is a countable word. How do we know it's countable? It ends with S, so it's countable. We can say one friend, two friends, three friends. Time is uncountable. How do we know it's uncountable? It doesn't end with S. We don't say I have one time, one free time, two free times, three free times. No, that's not acceptable. So we use a lot of with the countable and the uncountable nouns. We can also use much and many. They have the same meaning as a lot. But remember that much is used with the uncountable nouns and many is used with the countable nouns. I have many friends, countable. Much free time, uncountable. You can also use plenty of, and it means more than enough. Don't run, we have plenty of time. It means we have more than enough time. So you don't need to run. Remember, we use plenty with plenty of with the countable and the uncountable nouns. With the small quantities, we use a little with the uncountable words and a few with the countable words. Ismailia has a few movie theaters. Movie theaters, that's countable. So we say a few. Never say Ismailia has a little movie theaters. Never. I am so busy that I have very little time for myself. Never say I have very few time for myself. Never. So little for the uncountable and a few for the countable. If you want to talk about more or less than what you need or what you want, to indicate that something is more than what you want, we use to plus an adjective. I don't like the city. It's too big and too noisy. So it's bigger than what I want it to be. It's noisier than what I want it to be. Remember that if you use to plus an adjective, then it always has a negative meaning, even if this is a positive adjective. In this situation, if you want to say that a city is big, like being big is actually a good thing for a city, it's not bad. But if you say too big, it becomes a negative description. It means it's bigger than it should be. It's like bigger than my taste. Look at this example. I have given you some useful example. Ahmed is too nice. Of course, the word nice, it's a positive adjective. It's always a good thing to describe someone as nice. But if you say he's too nice, now you make it a negative adjective. Now you're trying to say that he's nicer than he should be. He's annoying all the time. He keeps saying, oh, hi, hello, how are you? I hope everything is okay. And he keeps asking about you and he keeps saying all kinds of polite things. I hate him for that. Oops. Yeah, I hate him for that. I hate him for being too nice like that. So here it becomes a negative description. I'm saying something bad about Ahmed. I'm insulting him. I'm hurting his feelings. It's not a good description. There is a big difference between saying Ahmed is so nice. Ahmed is very nice on the one hand, and Ahmed is too nice. So nice, good. Very nice, good. Too nice, bad. This exercise is too easy. Again, this is a negative description. It means it's easier than it should be. It's useless. I don't want to continue doing it. It's a waste of my time. So easy is actually, as we said before, easy is a positive adjective. But if you say too easy, you make it a negative adjective. That girl is too pretty. Of course, pretty is a positive adjective. If you say she's too pretty, it means she's prettier than it should be. Like maybe I mean that all the other boys keep looking at her all the time. They keep staring at her. She attracts too much attention. I don't want to marry her. If I get married to her, everybody's gonna look at her. So I'm not gonna be happy. She's too pretty. We can use too much with the uncountable nouns and too many with the countable nouns. Like this example, there is too much traffic and too much noise. Traffic is uncountable and noise is also uncountable. There are too many tourists and too many cars. Tourists is countable and cars is countable. Remember, never use too much with adjectives. Never say, this exam is too much difficult. Never. It's never acceptable. We always use too much or too many with the nouns, not with the adjectives. How about enough? We use enough before the nouns and after the adjectives and adverbs. There aren't enough parks. Park is a noun, so we put the word enough before the noun. There aren't enough trees. Tree is a noun, so we put the word enough before the noun. The buses aren't frequent enough. Frequent is an adjective. We put the word enough after the adjective. The buses don't run frequently enough. Frequently is an adverb. We put the word enough after the adverb. Zero quantities. We use any for zero quantities with a negative verb. There isn't any room in the car. So isn't, that's a verb and it's negative. We use the word any. We don't have any eggs. Don't, that's a verb, don't have, and it's negative. So we use the word any. But we use the word no with plus noun with an affirmative verb. There is no room in the car. Is, that's a verb and it's affirmative, it's not negative. So we use the word no. If you say there is no room in the car, that this has the same meaning as there isn't any room in the car. The same meaning. The only difference is that isn't is negative and is affirmative. And here we have any and here we have no. But the two sentences at the end, they have the same meaning. We don't have any eggs. We have no eggs. Same meaning. Don't have negative, have affirmative. Same meaning. We use none without nouns. If you don't have a noun, if you don't have a noun like eggs, and you want to provide a short answer, just say none. How many eggs do we have? None. So these three sentences, we don't have any eggs, we have no eggs, none, they have the same meaning. But here we have a noun, here we have a noun, and here there's no noun, and it's a short answer. Exercises. Now, all you need to do is to read and choose the right answer, and in some cases, both answers are acceptable. So you just have to underline both of them. Take some time, pause the video if you want to. Now I'm going to show you the answers. I just have to reply to a few emails. The word emails is countable. Never say a little emails. Always use a few with the countable words, never a little. Do you spend much time on social networking sites? Time is uncountable, so use much, never many. My bedroom is a nice size. There is both are acceptable. There is enough room for a desk or plenty of room for a desk. Both are acceptable. I know very few people. The word people, I know it's a little bit strange. The word people is actually a countable word because we say 4 people, 5 people, 6 people. So we use the word very few, never little, never little, always few with people. My brother has downloaded a lot of or lots of apps. They have the same meaning. We said a lot of has the same meaning as lots of. Both are acceptable. Let's do the same thing. Read the sentences from 6 to 10 and then choose the right answer. In some cases, both answers might be possible. Pause the video. Okay. I have some cash on me, not a lot, because we ended the sentence at this part. We don't have a noun, so just say not a lot. The new TV is too big. Never say too much big. We only use too much or too many if there is a noun, not an adjective. Number 8, there aren't any or there are no potatoes. Both are acceptable. They have the same meaning. Here we have a negative verb and here we have an affirmative verb. If you have a negative verb, use any. If you have an affirmative verb, use no. My niece isn't old enough. Old is an adjective, so we use enough after the adjective. I don't have a lot of friends or I don't have many friends. Both are acceptable. No problems. In this exercise, what you need to do is to correct the mistakes in the highlighted parts. Here, in this part, and here, and here, and here, and here. In some situations, there may be no mistakes in the highlighted parts, so you want to be careful. Like maybe there is a mistake, or maybe there is no mistake. You need to be careful. Okay, I'm going to show you the answers. How many presents did you get? A lot, not a lot of, because we don't have a noun. I buy very few paper books. No mistakes. So it's correct, actually. No mistakes. Here in this part, we have no mistakes because the word books is countable, and that's why we say very few, no problems. I don't use no social networks. No, that's not acceptable because here you have a negative verb. If you have a negative verb, use any. If you have an affirmative verb, use no. So you can say, I use no social networks. Again, I use no social networks, or I don't use any social networks. Please turn that music down. It's too much loud. No, loud is an adjective. Don't use too much before the adjectives. Use too much before the nouns, particularly the uncountable nouns. There aren't many good shows on TV tonight, correct? No mistakes. Do the same thing. Read the sentences and look at the highlighted parts. If there are any mistakes that need to be corrected, go ahead and correct them. Take some time. Pause the video. Okay, now I'm going to show you the answers. Enough fast? No, fast enough because fast is an adjective. And because you have an adjective, you put the word enough after the adjective. I make too much phone calls? No, calls, that's a countable noun. So we say too many. How much fruit do we have? None, because you don't have a noun. If you don't have a noun and you want to provide a short answer, just use none. There are only a little websites? No, websites, that's a countable word. So we use a few websites. Karen has plenty of money? Yes, correct, no mistakes. Okay, I hope today's lesson was useful. Thank you for watching. And if you have any questions, please let me know. Assalamu alaikum.